What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my first online video for Mario Kart World. You might be wondering why the ridiculous getup I have on right now, and that's because I have found the new best combo. If you're not using this one, then you're already behind the pack. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I think this is a very good combo. So we're using Mario with the Real Racer. Now this is a pretty strange combo. I think that Real Racer, it's seen a lot of love in time trials, but a lot of people are sort of thinking that that's where it's going to remain. And I think that's honestly a mistake. I think this is a pretty solid combo. Now you may be used to seeing things like Wario Blooper or just Blooper in general. And Blooper is a very good kart. If you don't know why, basically Blooper has really good stats. I'm taking the hidden stats into account here, where it has very good like smooth road speed and very good acceleration and handling given the high road speed. Now, why do I think that this one might actually be better? Well, there's two reasons for that. One is that it has basically the same exact stats as the Wario Blooper build, except it's got one less acceleration and one less handling. Hey everyone, post-production basic here. So I know that I'm going to get roasted if I leave this mistake in the video without any sort of clarification. Here are the actual stats for the builds that I'm talking about. Mario Real Racer is the build that I'm using, Wario Blooper is the sort of original meta combo that everyone else has been using, and the two other builds are combos that I've seen a lot in high-level competitive play. So as you can see, my combo has one less road speed, two less acceleration, and the same handling as Wario Blooper, but 3 more terrain speed and 2 more water speed. The other two combos basically just min-max acceleration at the cost of pretty much everything else except for handling. I still stand by everything else that I'm about to say. I just want to make sure that I'm not giving you bad information as to how these combos actually look so that you can decide for yourself what you want to use. That's enough of that. Let's get back to the video. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, if it's like literally just a worse version of Wario Blooper, why are we going to use this at all? And that's because what you lose in the acceleration and handling, you gain a lot of water speed and terrain speed. And I think that these things are actually pretty underrated stats. So road speed only takes up about maybe 60% or so of the total amount of stuff you're driving on in the game. And so you're spending about 30 to 40% of your time in terrain that's not actually smooth road. And so I think that having increased speed there actually helps. And acceleration and handling is nice, but the thing is that if you find yourself in a bad spot, most of the time you're going to want to just bag, and then you're going to be getting mushrooms or speed items anyway, and so you're going to be just fine if you miss out on one acceleration over Wario Blooper. Now there are actually a lot of combos that use they're like much lighter combos, like Baby Daisy or Fishbone. You might have been seeing that one a lot recently, and that one has like really, really high acceleration, and I think that it's fine, but I would not advise that you over-index on acceleration over anything else, just because of the fact that, again, speed is going to be very important here. And as you can see, we are already doing quite well. 3rd place for our first online race while I was talking and trying to explain statistics. So this is a very solid combo. You guys should be using it, I'm telling you. Now, there are 2 questions that we are trying to answer in this video. One, is this build a viable build? Can we be successful with it online? And to do that, we're going to try and see if we want to try and break 8,000 ELO today. I don't know if it's ELO or VR, MMR, whatever it is. We're trying to break that number with this combo to see if we can make it work. Second question is, can I maintain this ridiculous facade through the whole video, or will I get tired of it? Watch on to find out. You gotta watch the whole video to find out whether or not this lasts. Now again, I mentioned bagging as a thing. Bagging is actually still a very viable option, especially if you are finding yourself in the back spots at any point during the race. So usually what'll happen is I'll be kind of driving forward. If I drop below 10th place for even a couple seconds, I'm usually going to just hang out in the back and try and pull some good items. Like here, people spam a lot, especially in these sort of, I guess my ELO is considered more on the lower range. I think the more kind of pro players are up at 9,000, but I've mentioned before on this channel, I'm a dad, I work full time. I only have so many hours in the day to play Mario Kart, and I try and take every minute that I can, especially considering I gotta put videos together. So we're working on it. We are working on the ELO, and it'll come eventually. But yeah, so we're hanging out right now in kind of 21st place. We don't really care. It's only lap 2. We've got a lot of time to come back. So we're going to use our Mega Mushroom here, see if we can run anybody over. Probably not. I should have used it a little bit earlier, I think, so that it would run out and then I could grab a set. But that's fine. We're going to try and see if we can make anything happen here. Nope. We didn't get run over, so that's good. Yeah, people are very, very spammy online. So one of the problems, I think, with 24-person lobbies is that in general, it's just you get a ton of people and people get really trigger happy with their items. I'm using my golden mushroom right now because I am trying to anticipate a shock coming up soon. So we're going to use this. So we want to basically use our bill to anticipate a shock before it happens. We did not get that, so chances are we're going to get shocked. Triple greens is a very unfortunate thing to try and avoid. And we're just tricking, we're not drifting because that is faster. If you watched my world record reaction video, you'll know that. If you haven't, you should go check it out because it's the best video on the internet because I made it. Every video that I make is the best video on the internet. So if you're not watching all those videos, then you're losing out on real quality content that you and your families are going to be talking about for years to come. I did not. I thought I still had. I wasn't anticipating somebody was going to run into my red shell, so that's a little bit scary. I only have a mushroom right now. Can we actually pull a second here? Oh my god, we did it. That's 2 podium finishes in a row. This build is amazing. I'm telling you guys, you got it if you're not on it. If you're not first, you're last. You know what I'm saying? And we've already met our goal by breaking 8,000 MMR. Good game, good video. See you guys in the next one. Just kidding. Watch on. We're going to see how high we can get today. All right, we are on to Peach Beach now. This is a course that's a fairly straightforward drive forward simulator for the most part. So I want to talk a little bit about something I mentioned at the start of the video, which was hidden stats. So I'm sure a lot of people are already aware of this, but if you're not, on the build screen, you're going to see speed, acceleration, weight, and handling as 4 stats that you can optimize for. But the speed stat in particular is really, really misleading with what it's doing. So there's actually 3 different types of speed in this game. There is speed on smooth road, which is not what we're driving on right now, I don't think. But there's smooth road, there's terrain, which is going to be more like off-roady style terrain, dirt, sand, that kind of stuff. This is smooth road right here. And then there's water speed as well. And the speed stat that you see on the build screen is actually an average of those 3 statistics. So if you were to look at Baby Blooper's stats, if you were to look at, for example, Wario Baby Blooper on the build screen, it looks really bad. It looks like it's very slow, and you might wonder to yourself, why would anybody ever want to use this combo when it's just so ridiculously bad? But the thing is, it does have very low water speed and terrain speed, but it's got very high smooth road speed, so it's right behind Real Racer, which is known as being a faster combo. Now, Real Racer looks a lot faster, so if you were to switch from Wario Blooper to Wario Real Racer, then you would see that it looks like it's a lot faster. But it's actually not. It's just that it has higher averages because it's got higher higher terrain speed and higher water speed. So those are the things that it has going for it. But Blooper's got really, really good acceleration, really, really good handling as well. So that's kind of the reason why the Baby Blooper is such a good kart. And man, we are just crushing it today, dude. What was it? 3rd, 2nd, 1st? What are we gonna do? We can't lose today, man. I'm telling you, it's all the build. It's all the build. But yeah, so that's the kind of the basics of hidden stats in a nutshell, which is that speed is very, very misleading, and you need to know what those hidden stats are. I will try and link to that in the description if I remember. If I don't, make sure to leave a comment to let me know that I didn't do that so I can get around to it. All right, Moo Moo Meadows. This one is a very annoying course to play online because this really does come down to basically whatever happens on lap 3, but we're going to try and make it work. I didn't really spend a lot of time talking about my thought process in the last race. The basic story was, don't panic. I'm in 16th. I got a star. That's exactly what I need. I held it until the last set, and that allowed me to kind of chain the star into the last set, anticipating shock. That's the big thing here. Shocks are quite a bit less powerful than they were in 8 Deluxe. They still do make you small, and they still do take away everyone's items, but they only make you small for a little bit. So it's not as punishing as 8 Deluxe. So that's nice. But you still do need to anticipate it because it's very painful to make it past a set and then not have any items. So this is a really good pull, and we're just gonna see what we can see if we can gain some spots here. But I really need some coins. It's kind of unfortunate I wasn't able to get anything. And getting a bottom box again is very good. The item system in this game works in a really similar way to 8 Deluxe, where it's kind of distance based and it's also going to be placement based. So we're going to try and take advantage of that knowledge here. We're going to jump in here and just use our bill to hopefully avoid shock. That's really what we're trying to do the whole time, but we didn't. The bill, I got so many spots that my bill ran out like right away. So that's a little bit scary, but the other problem with having 24 people online is you really need to anticipate where everybody else is going to move. It's very annoying to be racing. See, there's a shock. It's very annoying to be racing and to end up getting like missing boxes because other people got in the way. And you just need to know that you need to try and anticipate where people are going to go. Mega Mushroom here is pretty solid. I think it should hopefully last until I get to this last set here, and then we'll see if we can pull something really good. Okay, we need to get a double item set here. We got it. So I think we're going to be okay. Okay, that is probably the worst pull in the history of pulls. Oh my god. Oh no, dude. You also have to pay attention to the respawn rates of the boxes and know that they are a lot less than they were in 8 Deluxe. Red shells are still the bane of my existence. They make me quite sad, but that's okay. We can't win them all. I don't blame the build for that. I actually really, if I would have just gotten a double item set and also not got a question mark box, that is the worst pull I've ever had, I think. All right, we are on another intermission track. I'm not sure which one this is, but I know that the actual term isn't intermission. Apparently there are people that are really upset about that terminology being used incorrectly, but whatever, man. We all know what I'm talking about. We're on the connector tracks where we're not actually racing 3 laps on a track. We're only racing 1, and then the other 2 laps are going to be spent kind of driving to the track that we want to play on in the first place. So one thing that I find a little bit unfortunate about the way that online races work is the fact that so many of the picks that you get are these kind of connector style tracks, and you don't actually get to race on the most of the time, like, you only get to choose between tracks that you don't actually want to race on. So like if I want to race on a particular 3-lap version of a track, I can't do that. I can only race on the version that goes from the track I'm currently on to whatever shows up on the screen. Now, one caveat to this is that if you use, if you pick the random option and your option gets selected, then that track will be guaranteed to be a random, it'll be a 3-lap version of a track. So that's one way you can get around that. That's why you're gonna see most people online picking random, because it is the only guaranteed way to get a 3-lap version of a track. And if you don't believe that it is something that people are interested in, you can just check and see what happens next time we get to the build screen. Everyone picks random for the most part. Except for right now, obviously, because we're racing on a connector track, so. The other thing that kind of sucks about this version of the races is that we're racing backwards through Mario Bros. Circuit, but you can't time trial the backwards version. You can only really do that if you mess around in free roam, so we don't have a lot of options for really practicing this version of the track, which I wish we did, but it's just not in the cards for us. Also, almost messed up that turn, but. And we're gonna go this way. I don't really know the fastest way to do this, but we're gonna go take the rail because that's fast going forward, so it's probably fast going backwards as well. That's that basic logic for you. And oh man, dude, are we gonna do another first place? We got in first again. I'm telling you guys, what have I said? What have I told you? You're not believing me. Competitive players, check it out. We're crushing it right now. Higher speed is the way to go. All right, we are on to Dry Bones Burnout, and this is a course that has a ton of this sort of bloom effect that was really common in Mario Kart Wii. I'm not sure why it only happens on some tracks and not others. I've tried changing my settings, you know, turning HDR off and all that stuff. It just doesn't, nothing seems to work, but that's okay. So we're gonna try and pull out another victory here. We're gonna chain our items because we want to try and roll for horns, and we're generally pretty safe. And again, like, I don't really care too much if I get wrecked at the start because there's always chances to come back. One thing about this game, so, you know, I used to complain a lot in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe about, you know, driving skill not mattering at all. And I think, honestly, like, driving skill matters in this game even less than 8 Deluxe, if that's even possible. But, you know, I've sort of just made my peace with the fact that that's how Nintendo wants the game to be played. And I've sort of realized that this is a game that really, really rewards you for having good, like, map awareness and good situational awareness and good item management. So that's kind of what we're going for here. Now, the scary thing about this Nabbit here is I don't know if he's actually holding anything. And the reason is that you can only see trailed items if they're items that you can actually run into. So I saw that Nabbit had a green shell, and what I mean by that is that if it's an item that you would trail, so like in 8 Deluxe, right, if you have green shell, red shell, horn, I want to get out of here. Green shell, red shell, banana, bomb, you can run into those if somebody else is holding them, and you will get hit, right? But in, and it's the same thing in this game. But in this game, what's different is that, like, all your items are trailed. And so what the game does is if it's an item that you would normally be able to run into if somebody was trailing it, then the game will show you that that's what the person is holding. But otherwise, they won't. You won't be able to see anything. And the whole point of that little tirade was that Nabbit, I had no idea what they were holding onto. So that Goomba, same thing. The Goomba was actually holding a horn, but I had no idea about that because, you know, you can't run into a horn, so the game just chooses not to show you that. That's probably one of the only things I think is just sort of an objectively bad design decision, is to sort of hide the information to you about what other players are doing. Because, you know, it makes it so you can't actually play the game properly, which kind of is unfortunate. And I don't care about red shells, because I'm getting third place again. Again, we just don't stress, man. We just try and play smart. We try and play around the fact that the game has this weird behavior, and then we get rewarded for it. Alright, we are now driving from Dry Bones Burnout to Airship Fortress. I hope that we actually get the forwards version of the track here. I don't think we do, because I think you're supposed to normally drive from... Actually, no, Airship Fortress is sort of its own cup. So, we'll see what happens here. I like to use coins a bit early on. You can carry a max of 20 coins, and coins don't do that much for you, but it's still good to try and get them, to keep them kind of topped off as much as you can. So we're in the crazy pack right now. We're gonna just purposely slow down a little bit to guarantee that we get some items. And we got triple shroom, which is pretty solid. I don't need to use this right away. We're gonna use one shroom here. Guess I might as well just use them now. I want to hold on to this though, in case I happen to get into first place, then I can have this for a mushroom dodge on a blue shell. One thing, I don't know if you saw that, somebody just bounced off of my head right now. That is a thing you can do. You can trick off other players in this game. However, it is a lot slower because of the fact that when you trick off somebody, you get a massive amount of airtime. So that's really good for us, actually. Because they shocked all the people in front of us. Now we get triple shrooms. The gold coin is a little bit less than ideal. Maybe I should just kind of hold back a little bit. I don't know. We'll keep going. There's no need to hard bag right now. Oh, dude, the edge trick was so sweet. Tricking off gliders, the timing is pretty weird on that. But yeah, we are just kind of, we're just chilling right now. We really want to make sure that we maintain, so even though we're in like 14th right now, we're still okay. We don't need to really stress too much. I really don't want to get any more of these golden shells though. They really don't do very much for me, and they tend to just help the people in front. I did not want to use that right there, but that's okay. Gold mushrooms are really good. Mushrooms in this game, I never thought I would see the day where mushrooms are actually overpowered. Oh man, that was crazy. Oh no, dude. Okay, this is bad. But we're not out of the race yet. We just gotta play a little bit smart. Hopefully we get some good items. But I tend to be a pretty unlucky person, so I'm not expecting anything super crazy here. Oh, dude, I prevented that toad from getting anything. Go, go, go. That's a really, really good pull. Getting a bullet bill there is super clutch. Because now we can just do this. We just bill here. Go all the way down. Super clutch finish, man. I told you guys, you don't stress. Never stress in Mario Kart World. Very easy. And where's our ELO at right now? So we're sitting at 8,200. So we've cracked the 8,200 barrier. We're getting a little bit less and less now because the lobbies are getting more and more stacked, but we're gonna see how much higher we can get in the next like 10 minutes or so. Moo Moo Meadows again. I think our last Moo Moo Meadows, I can't remember. I feel like it didn't go well, but we'll see if that was the case or not after. We'll check that out in post. But yeah, so you never want to panic. That's kind of the point that I want to make. I'm not even playing that well. My driving is not really that good right now. I haven't time trialed a lot of the courses, but what I have done is I've reached a new agreement with how I approach Mario Kart. I've reached an agreement with the game itself. And I'm not going to take it as seriously. And what I'm also going to try and do is make sure that I don't stress too early, because a lot of the time what happens when I used to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I'd get super tilted, I'd get red shelled and just like lose my mind and not really think about how to play properly. And now all we're doing is just saying, you know what? We got a little bit of bad luck there, but let's try and just make the best of it, and we're just going to bag. That's basically the story here, is when things go wrong, if all else fails, just bag, and you'll probably be okay. I kind of don't really want this horn. Oh, I should have done that a little bit earlier. I was going to say, I kind of don't want the horn, because the horn has very low range. It's very easy to avoid, and if I get wrecked right now, then I just bag. So we're going to mushroom into this set, see what we can pull. That's even worse. But really, I mean, we're doing just fine. We're not far ahead of the pack, but far enough ahead that we're not really stressed too much. And Marvin is totally safe. So blue shell dodging in this game is very easy compared to 8 Deluxe. So if you got a mushroom in first place, you're pretty much sitting pretty. Oh no, dude. The booze. Uh-oh, got a boomerang after me. I'm gonna head out to the outside, because then I'll be totally out of the range of that boomerang. So there goes Marvin with the mushroom dodge. Super clutch. Amazing gameplay, Marvin. Oh, that's actually really good. That's really good for us. I thought I could get the Goomba with that, but it didn't work. I'm not making any really weird rash decisions. I was gonna try and maybe snipe that snowman up there, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get punished if I do that. So let's hold on to the green shell and make sure that we can stay safe. And we've got one more race after this to see how well we can do. Let's see if we can break this 8,300 barrier with our next race. Let's go for one more first place finish if we can. And just to kind of prove the point that I made earlier, look at how many randoms there are there. That's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 out of 23 pick random. That's more than 50% because people want to play on the actual tracks. They don't want to play on these connectors. They just don't. Oh, we got whistle stop. It is over, man.
A few moments later.
Oh, shoot. On to the last track for tonight. We've got Whistle Stop Summit. I really, really love this course. There's so much fun tech on it. And I hope I can actually do some of it and avoid the chaos of a 24-person lobby. But yeah, this course has so much cool tech. I love the shortcuts on it. The rail grinding stuff is really cool as well. See if we can do it. Oh man, clutch. But we got to be a little bit careful because there are a lot of people in this lobby and we don't want to run into this snowman's banana, for example. But we're good, dude. We don't even need to worry about any of this. Oh my god, the booze! That's terrible. Oh man, Yoshi, dude. Okay, well, that's fine. I think we just kind of hang out. We don't really go for anything super crazy right now. We just hang out here and probably get hit again by this star. I'm not really going for anything super crazy now until lap 3. I don't really want to be on the rail anymore, to be honest. Get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. All right. That's pretty solid. I would have liked to have pulled Shock, but beggars can't be choosers. We get what we work with what we're given. And we're gonna use this as early as we can in case there is a shock, because if there is a shock, then I want to make sure I actually got as much utility out of my mushrooms as possible. And now we're gonna go for the time trial strat, see if we can get it. Oh, dude! Oh my god! Ultra Instinct! Oh no, okay, that's fine. I think we can still make something happen here. Oh shoot, that's not good. That's terrible. I would have actually had a really solid finish if that didn't happen, but I got too greedy. It happens. And we got punished. We got punished for the greed, but that's okay. We just move on. Actually, we do got time for one more race, so we can't finish that way. We can't stop on a 19th place. We got to end with talking about how great the build is, right? I didn't do the build justice. Desert Hills is our last course. This is kind of a stinker, not gonna lie. There's just not really a lot going on, and there's only like really one shortcut, so we're gonna just see what we can do here. I mean, I guess there's more than one shortcut. I just took a really massive one that's not even the time trial shortcut. Uh-oh. Okay, I think we just hold on to this. I don't want to use my last mushroom now, even if I could take that shortcut, because if I use it and then a blue comes, I'm kind of just screwed, right? So, but I feel like I'm going to be screwed anyways. Oh, well, there's the blue. Now we have this mushroom for the shortcut on lap 2. And I don't see anything behind me from the conch door. So I'm not worried about red shells right now, but... Oh, that was like perfect. That was a perfectly executed shortcut, almost. That shortcut is honestly a lot harder than it looks. The intended, or not the intended, but the time trial mushroom cut. Very hard to execute properly, because you gotta time it. You have to have good positioning and time it well enough so that you jump out of the cut. That way you can keep all of your speed. So it's very difficult to do properly. I got rid of the coin because I want to see if I can roll one more defense. Having a horn would be really sweet, but we got a green shell instead. Nope, we weren't able to make it happen, but we did get the first. We finished it, man. I'm telling you, this combo, it's too good. Oh man. In reality, I do actually think it's a good combo. Is it going to be the best for online play? Probably not. The hitbox is very big. It does sacrifice kind of a lot of acceleration compared to what a lot of the competitive players are using right now, but I think honestly this is a very solid build. It feels really satisfying to play, so if you're not using it, you should check it out. Anyways, that's it for me for today. Take it easy, everyone. I'll catch you all in the next video.